Hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. We're gonna do regular yoga today, but today we're doing just a sequence, not particularly focused on really anything. So it's kind of up to you what you want to set your intention to for this practice. It's designed so that it kind of incorporates a lot of aspects, so you can play around with what you want to focus on. I'm just going to be pointing out little things from everything, so no particular focus. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, just going to need a block and that's it. So let's go ahead and start off in child's pose. We're going to do extended child's pose, so we're going to extend out our arms and bring our forehead to the floor. And we're spreading out our fingers, making our hands nice and flat, spreading them onto the floor. And now would be a great time to go ahead and stop giving attention to any thoughts, any unnecessary thoughts, and bringing your attention to what you want to set your intention to for this practice. One more breath here. And then go ahead and slowly walk hands back towards your body. We are going to go ahead and sit. And actually we are going to come up. We're going to start off with some standing poses today. So we're going to start off with Garland pose, or also known as like a duck squat. I know some people have referred to that as that. So if you do have knee problems, make sure to take extra caution. But we're going to go ahead and start off a little bit wider than hip width apart, and eventually we're going to bring our bottom all the way down to the floor. We're kind of squatting in a position that's close to the floor. So go ahead and bring your hands to your chest, and while we're in this position, we don't want to round, so be cautious of that. And then if you're in any pain, be sure to come out. Let's go ahead and sit all the way down. Make sure to keep that upper body nice and up tall, pushing into one palm, or pushing one palm into another, to give you that strength. Go ahead and take one more deep breath here. And then we'll come all the way up, nice and slow. And we'll release and we'll stand in Tadasana. Go ahead and bring feet together just a little bit. Roll those shoulders back, making the neck nice and long. Awakening all those muscles in this standing pose. All 10 of your fingers, all 10 of your toes, your quads, your calves, your biceps, your triceps, your core, everything is working. And go ahead and open your eyes if they aren't already. We're going to go ahead and go into chair pose. So we're going to be moving our hips backwards, and we're going to be moving our hands up. So we'll start by inhaling and exhaling. We're still hip width apart stance. We're going to sit back in that chair. Hips are moving back, not forward in any way. using those quads. Almost done. About 2 more breaths. Keeping your intention in mind. Got 1 more breath here. And then pushing up, or pushing into the floor to come all the way up. Breathing here into Tadasana. And we'll release. Okay. So hopefully you've gotten some energy now. Let's go ahead and grab one of our blocks. We're going to place it on the back side of our, the right side of our mat. And we're actually going to go into side angle pose. Side angle pose we've done a lot, but I'm going to give us 3 different options here in how we want to practice the asana. Go ahead and just relax while I demonstrate these 3 different options. So like usual, we're going to go into that position. All 3 asanas are going to be, or all 3 variations are going to be in that this same process. So we'll go ahead and inhale, exhaling, we're going to bend this knee, we're going to tip ourselves to come into side angle pose. This block is right here, I hope you guys can see that. But from here, so either you can do variation number 1, which is the regular side angle pose. So I'm going to ask you to come here, we're going to take a few breaths here, and then I'll ask you to inhale, and we're going to sweep our hands into this above our head position. So that's number 1. This is going to be the easiest version. Then we've got half bound position. So instead of we're going to take this arm up for a few breaths, but then I'm going to ask you to take this arm around. We're going to wrap it and bring it around, and I'm holding this thigh here, so it's bound. It's not free, it's like bound basically. But notice that I'm not collapsing here. I'm still free in the upper body, except my arm is like bound. Okay, so that is that. And then, so this is the full half bound position. And then full bound would be taking this arm and wrapping it around and finding, here, I should probably turn myself around so you can see this. But instead of holding the thigh like I was earlier, I'm going to be wrapping the right arm around and bringing it around the thigh, holding the left hand. So it's full bound position, and then we're going to stay here. So we've got half bound, which is just the top arm that's wrapped, and then the other arm is supporting on the block. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping around that thigh and grabbing the top hand. So that's obviously the third one, which is a little bit the toughest. So I'm going to give you the option to choose which out of those 3 you want to do. But go ahead and everybody just have your block there, whether you're doing variation 3 or number 1 or number 2. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get into this stance. We're all going to be doing this together because it's the same. We'll start in Tadasana. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, exhaling. We're going to bend both knees. Go ahead and take both feet out. Turn the back foot just a tad. Hands on our hips. We're going to inhale, and exhaling, we're going to bend that knee, acting like someone is pulling. So go ahead and do that a couple of times. Oil up that knee, and then we'll inhale, and then exhaling through the mouth. Our friend is going to pull at our knee, and let's go ahead and tip from our hips. We're going to find the block, and we're going to start off just by making sure that we're nice and twisted as much as we can, and we're going to all actually take up that arm into the air. First step. So make sure that stance is as perfect as you can. And then on your next breath, you can either sweep the arm around if you're going to go with the first variation, or you can take that arm and bound it around the thigh. So the left hand is holding onto the right thigh. And then if you're going to go into the third variation, now would be the time to grab under that thigh and grab the left hand, my bad. One more breath here. And then exhaling, go ahead and untwist. And then we're gonna come all the way up. We'll unbend that knee, and we'll kind of walk ourselves up. I know that was a little twisty and bendy. Go ahead and shake that out. Breathe. And let's transition to the left now. So taking the block to the left. And start off in Tadasana once again. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna bend the knees. Take one leg out at a time. And remember, the left side is a completely different side, so try not to expect anything. Let's go ahead and rotate left foot. And then the right foot as well, just a tad. We'll go with let's go ahead and bend that knee a couple of times. And then we'll inhale. Exhaling, we're going to really put all our weight into that. Maybe the back foot slides out a little bit, so we're really in that stance. And then we'll tip from our hips. We'll grab that block. And then this is where we're all going to twist as much as we can to find our best asana. And then you'll feel it when you're ready to take that arm up. You'll feel nice and open, and that's when you know it should just effortlessly be able to come up. Great, that looks great. So we'll take about one more breath here. The more open you can be with your upper body, the easier the later variations are. All right, so if you're in the first variation, go ahead and sweep that arm around. If you are in the second one, go ahead and take the right arm and we're gonna wrap it around our back and find our thigh. We'll take a breath here. Remember, we're still trying to keep that upper body nice and twisted. And then the last variation, go ahead and wrap the left arm around the thigh and grab the right hand. Great. This takes a lot of strength. This is great. Okay, one more breath here. And then untwist. Find that block to support yourself. Come out of it nice and graceful as you can. We'll unbend that knee. Let's go ahead and walk ourselves all the way up. That was great. Take a nice deep breath. Maybe get some water. That was a tough one. We are going to go into Parsvottanasana, which is just a simple forward fold. I think we've done this before, so let's go ahead and just go right into it. I'm going to ask you to keep your block beside you so you have some support. Otherwise, you can use the leg for support as well. So let's start off in Tadasana once again. Finding that center. So let's go ahead and inhale. Exhaling, we'll bend both knees. Let's go ahead and take one out at a time. We're going to rotate right foot 90 degrees, back leg as well. But we're also going to rotate the hips. We're going to swivel them so that they're squared to the front of the mat. Great. Okay, so now we are going to try to keep a non-rounded back, rounded spine the entire time. We're going to fold from the hip crease, really stretching the right hamstring And then finding some kind of support, whether that be the floor, if you're all the way down there. It can be your ankles, your calf, your thigh, or that block. And try not to lift up your head. Just allowing your neck to relax by letting your head look, or your eyes look straight down. This would be a good time to really reflect on your intention. See if you're following through with that purpose for this sequence. One more breath here. And then go ahead and bring your hands onto your hips. Let's come all the way up. And we'll switch sides. Let's go ahead and to our left side now. We don't have to come back into Tadasana. Let's go ahead and just rotate the left foot 90 degrees, back leg as well. Swivel those hips, and then we're gonna make sure our block or whatever we need to support ourselves is there. Let's start bending from the hip crease, and we'll find whatever support we have. One more breath here. And then go ahead and bring hands to hips. We'll come all the way up. And we'll stand up. And go ahead and relax while I demonstrate this last standing pose we've got here. And that is a revolved wide legs forward fold. So starting off Tadasana, we'll bend the knees. We'll take one leg out at a time. And then instead of just going straight down and staying like this, we're actually going to bring right arm to left, or opposite hand to opposite leg. And it's your choice. You can either keep hands somewhere on your back, on your hips, or you can extend arm up. It's up to you. Of course, this is more of a twist, more intense. But then, of course, we'll do our other side, same thing. Okay, so go ahead and come into the wide-legged position. And from there, let's fold from the hip crease. And then bring the right hand to the left foot. It can be the ankles, you can be holding onto the toes even. The calves, whatever is comfortable, depends on how low you are. And then from there, either keeping the hand on your hip or somewhere on your body, or extending it up. Just one more breath here. And then we'll release. Go ahead and come back to the center. Take a second here. And then we'll move left hand to right ankle or right leg. And then again, your choice where you want to keep that hand anywhere on your body or extend it up. all the way back to neutral. Let's place hands on hips and we're gonna come up nice and slow. Taking in a deep breath. And then let's bring feet together. Go ahead and shake anything out. We're gonna come into a Marichyasana forward fold instead. So let's go ahead and kind of stay in the same position. We're gonna bring in the left foot, and then we're just going to simply forward fold. You can keep your arms back, and then just fold here. And if you're able to, you can kind of bound yourself as well here. Wrap the arm around so you're able to come and fold a little bit more. So this would require a little bit more of an intense stretch, so it's your choice. You want to come forward and wrap left arm around left leg. And then let's go ahead and come all the way up, unwinding. We'll bend right leg and we'll extend back left leg. And we'll start our fold. So starting with hands behind us, we'll start leaning forward. And if this is enough for you, you can stay here. But if you want to go a little bit more intense, wrapping right arm around right knee. And the closer you bring in that right foot towards your body, the smaller that kind of area your arm has to go around is. So it'll make it a lot easier if your foot is in closer. Every time you exhale, see if you can go fold just a little bit more. We'll stay here for just a breath more. And then we'll fully release. We'll bending both legs now. We're going to go into one of our final poses, which is camel pose. So go ahead and come onto your knees. We're gonna end with, or not completely end, but we're gonna start to end with a back bend. We're gonna really stretch that lower belly. So go ahead and come onto your knees. Go ahead and inhale, hands will come up. Exhaling, we're gonna take one arm back, bring it onto the foot. If this is enough, you can stay here. But if you wanna go a little bit more intense, you can take the opposite arm and bring it onto the foot as well. Chest is lifting towards the ceiling. We're trying not to strain the neck or head. Take one more breath here. And then inhaling, come all the way up. Let's sit on our knees, and then let's go ahead and roll onto our back. And bring knees into chest. And here we're just going to massage our sacrum in one release pose with our knees. Basically just making circles in one direction. opposite way. And then to come into Savasana, I'm going to give you two options. You can either extend out both legs and come into that regular Savasana, or you can do Savasana and Supta Baddha Konasana. Whatever feels best for you, your back, your body right now. And then once you've chosen your position, wherever that position is, go ahead and relax every single limb in your body. Go ahead and start that process, starting from your 10 toes, and then making your way up all the way to your head. And then go ahead and start to make every breath just a little bit longer. Start to move fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. Gently shake or nod your head. Gonna bend a knee at a time. And we'll roll over to the right side and come all the way up. Alright, so let's go ahead and come to a seated position. We'll bring hands to our chest, we'll bow our head. Namaste. Namaste.